Hello, dear lady. God and I deemed that it would be worthwhile to bring up our latest text exchange. We just recently met on a dating website, and according to your profile, you're looking for a man who values the Bible. You tout yourself as a Bible believing, church going Christian. You even posted a couple of pictures of you posing with a friend at church. And I vowed that my next relationship would be morally grounded. So I approached our exchange with a sense of enthusiasm. After a few text exchanges, we decided to take it to the next level by video chatting. I thought our video chat went pretty well. We delved deeper into our shared values about Christianity, and we even talked about things like basketball, and you had mentioned that you work at an elderly home, and I used to as well. And so we had a bit of a conversation about the bonds that we have with the elderly. You also look pretty fit, which signaled to me that you would enjoy nature hikes like I do. So we ended up on a pretty positive note. We even agreed to meeting for a date. So I was thinking, hey, here's a lady who would challenge me to take it slow and strive to have a strong moral connection between us that would potentially keep a relationship between us pure, joyful, full of meaning and purpose. So the next morning came. I didn't hesitate to plan out our date since we seemed to hit it off quite nicely the evening before. My strategy was simple: take it slow. In my view, an in-person coffee date would be that next logical and safe step to take. So here's the text that I sent to you. I was thinking how wonderful it would be to meet you in person. How would you like to meet for a drink? But your response was quite different than I would have expected. Good morning. I appreciate the offer, but I've already made a commitment to myself in 2022 after a couple of bad dates. I would never go out for a coffee date, and since I told you I don't drink, it wouldn't make sense. My conviction is if a man is not able to take out a woman for a meal, he shouldn't be dating. At least that's what Steve Harvey says. Like I mentioned, I'm not a materialistic woman. So I'm not going to insist on the Sierra restaurant where my girlfriend always goes with her dates, the most expensive restaurant in Roseville. Denny's or IHOP is good enough for me, but a man that invites you out for a drink or a coffee signifies he's cheap and doesn't want anything serious. Secondly, I have my name on two properties, and I need a man who is just as financially successful as I am, not renting. Finally, I would have overlooked the fact that you're renting if you asked me out to a restaurant that would have signified that you're poor, but at least generous. Last but not least, my ex is 5 years older than I, and he still colors his hair and puts in the effort to look his best. I highly recommend you color your hair at home once a month as you're only 45 younger than I. A couple years ago, I would have a couple years ago, I would not have the audacity to talk like this to a man, but I have gone through many things to give me the wisdom and courage to speak the truth in love. That was your response, dear lady. Now, woo! Now let's go back to our Christian ethics, shall we? Now, Steve Harvey, I know him as he was a man of God, we'll say. He did speak some deeper truths that I think deserve attention. Don't get me wrong. But you're presenting yourself as a Christian moral lady. So we have to have a different model than Steve Harvey to live by, right? Because it isn't like we pray to Steve Harvey every day as Christians, right? We're not glorified in the fact that Steve Harvey died on the cross. He got his hands pounded on the cross, blood spurting everywhere. Yeah, we don't hold Steve Harvey to such divine esteem, right? So who we would be Jesus. So I'm going to pose a coaching question to you, dear lady. What would Jesus say to a coffee date? Not Steve Harvey. I'll leave you with that for now, and until next time, keep your fire burning.